I want to crack a drug addict. My palms were sweating. I go, what am I supposed to do? I can't. My palms were sweating. I go, I can't. I just. And I probably ordered probably in excess of $25. Yeah, for $29 they got rid of it. I couldn't even get it because they deactivated it. She says yeah. Well, she's got to take care of Mary. Okay. Well, why don't we all do it? And smile. I got to check on this. You're in the garage. Sombrero. I got
That got one up.
you know what? Yes, because you see Joe, all butts. You want to see it too? Oh, what do you think? What?
That's what I said.
Even ask him, right? All gosh, it's getting
We got your. They all end up in the same place. Sunday is like, you know, everybody. I know. All three. You were hearing that. Somebody, this is really what it meant. So you can get my call. They can get my call. Yeah.
Mutual friend, Sonia, her best friend. Oh, you have your own. Yeah, perfect. No, she was editing. Tennessee.
Hi, Carlo.
Yeah, Scott brought it, and I said, oh, I think it's good that it's showcased. Yes, I know, which I didn't have any of blue. I had to go out and buy it. I know. And then my husband, I took the tab cup for sure last night, so it was good time. It's fine. It'll work fine. I don't think I was just taking a picture of this going, oh, it's going to be in the business picture.
Hello, everyone. Hello, welcome, welcome. We're going to get started in a few minutes. If you want to find your way to one of these chairs, if there's overflow, feel free to sit at the tables, but we want to fill these first chairs up first before we get to the overflow tables. Thank you. Kirsty, are you in the room? Do I not see you? Kirsty, she's coming. We're gonna wait for Kirsty. All right, hi, welcome everyone. Thank you for being here. I know this is a tough day for us all. We just wanted to say thank you for driving out and being here, whether in person. There's also a live stream in the back. If you know anyone that wanted to make it but is out of town, there is a live stream. You can get the link. So you were too late to make it link. I'm not that good at it. I'm Kurt Maloney.
I'm Tyler. Hey.
I'm Tyler.
Hi, how's it going? I'm Jacob.
Brock. Sure, I'll keep going. We were some of Roger's closest friends. We were in a sketch group called the Bath Boys, and we all loved Roger. You guys did. His mother Mary asked us to sort of MC this. So what's going to happen today is there's going to be a couple of speeches. Friends are going to go first, and some family members are going to get up and speak. And then there will be a chance for, if you have something you'd like to say, or if somebody wrote something that you'd like to speak for somebody, there will be an open mic portion. We will hand the microphone out. You can say what you'd like to say. It is a hot mic, so hold it low. There's some refreshments. We'll be grabbing food and hanging out. The slideshow will be playing pictures of Roger that was made by Kirsty. So once again, thank you for coming. And I guess I'll get started with the first speech. Who on up first? Cool. All right, well, here we go. Like I said, my name is Kurt. I've been friends with Roger since we were 18. And this first part I would like to address to Roger's mother, Mary. Remember when I was coming up with this eulogy, I went back and forth for months on how appropriate this eulogy should be. And I need you to know that I wanted it to be appropriate. But then I remembered your son would send me full photos of himself on the toilet, just randomly during the workday, just in hopes that I was in a meeting and my boss would see and I'd have to explain it. So, for Roger's sake, this is going to be very inappropriate. I apologize if there are young children in the audience. If you learn a new word today, you heard it from the television. Roger was inappropriate. I think it's safe to say. The things he said, the way he acted, the way he dressed, he was not afraid to show up to your wedding in a full skin-tight yellow dress that fully outlined his penis. And he did, and he would. And I think about Roger in this inappropriate way because he loved me appropriately. And I think that's what made it feel real and raw and different. It's one kind. Roger's the type of person that would tell you everything and it made you feel like you could tell him. He was beautifully weird. He looked at life in a way that I think we all envy. He dared to look mediocrity in the eyes and say, fuck that, do something else. And I loved him for it. Roger stood out, so standouts knew where to stand. Like I said, I met Roger when I was 18 at comedy sports camp. We shared a room together. We were dorm mates. Across the hall was James Thomas Bailey. We had a third roommate. This is a very inappropriate picture of Roger, except he encapsulated his comedy. And I think it's important to know that he was a very funny man. We shared a room together. We were both 18. We had just graduated high school. We were going to comedy sports camp. And our third roommate was a man named Greg. And this was a camp for high schoolers. But apparently there was no age cutoff because Greg was 21 years old, attending a high school improv camp. And around the fourth night, Roger and I had already become friends. And Greg had fallen asleep early. He and I were just sort of chatting. And by that I mean Roger was talking mad shit about Greg. And I wanted it to stop. It made me feel so uncomfortable that I couldn't stop laughing at how funny it was. He had pointed out that Greg didn't shower all week and smelled. He had pointed out that it's weird that he's too old to be here. And for about 20 minutes, Roger was just kind of talking shit. And then 20 minutes later, Greg picked his head off the pillow and said, when you guys are done talking, can you please turn off the lights? Roger quickly hit the lights, and in the dark, we covered ourselves in a blanket, and we giggled ourselves to sleep. Roger was the type of person that you wanted to get in trouble with. He was always getting in trouble, and you were happy to be a part of it. And the rest of that story is that this morning I sat down with friends that were also at that camp, and I was explaining, oh, we messed up. I'm so mad. You're like, what happened? I was like, me and Roger were talking shit. And Roger was like, you were talking shit. And he just pinned it all on me because it was a little devil. Roger and I grew up in a very, we were cities apart. We grew up in Upland. I grew up in Chino. We were teenagers in 2005, 6, 7, which was a time that, I don't know if you remember, but people weren't super stoked about gay people. They had some backwards ideas, and Roger always fought back against that prejudice with love and fire. Not by protesting or voting, which is something I'm sure he never did, but he would do the real thing. He would change the hearts of those he loved. I remember in our early 20s, Roger had just come out, and one time he would ask me if I'd still be his friend to start wearing heels. And I half jokingly said, hell no. And he was like, you wouldn't hang out with me because of the shoes I'm wearing? You're wearing Converse that I duct taped together. I still hang out with you. And I doubled down. I said, yeah, I guess I'd still hang out with you, just maybe when you're not wearing heels. And I remember he looked at me so disappointed. And then I saw it turn from disappointed to love. And he just said, I think you would. And it was that sort of bravery and love that made me really, really blessed to know Roger. Sorry. I do own a pair of heels now. I'm wearing them. I really do believe that Roger saved me from being a hateful person by daring me to be a loving one. And then he saved me from being a boring person. And they say not all heroes wear capes, but they don't say that some of them wear dresses that say bitch across the chest. I'm so grateful to met Roger. I love him. I was blessed to be loved by him. And I hope I carry his spirit with me well. And I hope you do too. I hope you're always a little too loud. I hope you're always a little too gay. And I hope you're always just a little too inappropriate. Thank you. That's my speech for Roger. Next up. Did you memorize that? All right. The first time that I met Roger was at Comedy Sports, like a lot of us here. He was so effortlessly funny, and I remember as a newbie early on at the college student practice thinking, I want to be as good as that guy. Becoming friends with Roger was an honor, and over the years of being in the same sketch room, he became as close as a brother. I'll always treasure the times that we had running around Orange and Los Angeles together, being stupid and getting into, but most importantly, out of trouble. Roger had a presence and confidence that was larger than life. He would light up any room that he walked into. He was hilarious. He was the funniest person that any of us knew. He was kind, loving, smart, and not just brain smart, but deeply emotionally intelligent. He had no problem telling you that you were wrong or that you're fake. And I'm thankful for that. He also had that playful trickster side of him that we all know so well. I always loved seeing that mischievous glimmer in his eye. Roger was so funny that even when he was wrong, he made it funny. There's a story that some of you might know that I'm going to recount briefly. It's probably one of the 5 top nerve-wracking things that I've ever been a part of. The year was 2011. We were at the Sundance Film Festival in Park City, Utah for Jacob's movie Terry, which was premiering there, which is now streaming on Peacock, Tubi, and Amazon Prime. If you want to see it, if you're happy, you should. It's a very good movie. We were at an after party for the movie, and there was no open bar, so you knew we were turning up. A few hours in, someone just goes, Roger just left. We're like, what do you mean? I don't know, he just flipped me off and he was nonverbal. He left. So we went out to go looking for Roger. We go up and down the street looking for him, calling out his name, looking into bars, going to the police station. And mind you, this is Utah in January, so it's freezing and it's snowing. We look all night for hours. Suddenly the sun starts coming up and we decide to head back to our cabin, hoping that he was okay, but fearing the worst. Finally, a couple hours later, Kirk gets a call from Roger. Apparently, he had found his way into a storefront window display and fallen asleep. We must have passed him like 5 or 6 times and we didn't even admit. But I'll never forget us picking him up from where he was and the look on his face. He slowly walked up to the car with his head down, shamed, looked up at us, saw how pissed off we were, and immediately giggled to himself. Even when he was in the wrong, he made it funny, which somehow makes it right. We all loved Roger immensely and have stories about him. Everyone he met, even if he didn't know them. I know that there's some strangers that he talked to on the street who still bring him up to this day. Remember that guy in the dress? And on this day, I envy those people because they don't know that he's gone. But to them, he exists forever. And this is how we keep his spirit alive, by telling our Roger stories. So whether it be on this podium or in this room later with each other, most certainly outside of this building, tell your Roger stories. Because he deserves it. And we owe it to him. There was or ever will be anyone like Roger Garcia III. And I'm so honored that we existed at the same time. Goodbye, Raj. I love being young with you. I'll miss you till I can hug and laugh with you again. Thank you. Take a breath, Doctor.
2 for 2. Good job, guys. It's an honor to be speaking about my friend today. Before I begin, I want to acknowledge how wonderful it is to see so many people here today supporting Roger and his family. To my comedy, we've all been together in the same room. And despite the circumstances, I'm finding a lot of comfort in seeing so many familiar faces. And I'm really sorry that we're going through this. But I'm glad we're doing it together. I want you to know that as we move through this, I have your backs. This collection of people and energy in this room is Roger. It's all the love we had for him, concentrated into a complicated, wild, surreal afternoon. This is the manifestation of Roger's radiant energy. This is a demonstration of Roger's impact on his peers. This room is powered by all the love that Roger generated in his time with us. And it's really nice to see that today that love's overflowing and clearly abundant. We were so lucky to get to experience Roger's love. I think that's part of Roger's secret sauce, is that he made everyone feel like they were his favorite. Sometimes you get a text from Roger boasting, "You're my favorite." Or, "Don't tell Brock, but you're my favorite." Even after realizing he was sending texts like this to all of us, it didn't make you feel any less special. And I like to think that I don't ever want to take for granted the way Roger loved me. He did it in a way that felt rare, outdated, unmodern, and unconventional. He made me feel seen and heard and understood. And I'll miss how inquisitive he always was. He always wanted to connect on a level that was far, far, far away from the surface. He'd ask you questions about yourself and no one had ever asked you. He exposed me to ideas and realities I would have never experienced alone. And he effortlessly held space for pain and always seemed genuinely happy to do so. He loved me in a way that honestly it felt like a lesson, or perhaps the blueprint for how we're supposed to be loving each other. It's incredibly bizarre trying to depict and encapsulate the extent of Roger and I relationship. We were 2 teenage weirdos in an improv camp, and over time, a gorgeous, magical connection bloomed. I know for certain I'm a better man for knowing Roger. His influence on my life is everlasting. Thank you, Roger, for everything you did and taught me. Thank you for being unabashedly yourself. Thank you for never compromising in your brilliance. And thank you for teaching a bunch of straight white idiots about queerness. Thank you for all the silliness. Thank you for all the mischief. Thank you for being you. There will never be another Roger Garcia III. Roger, you're my friend, my teacher, my collaborator, my confidant, my Selena, and most important to me, my brother. I love you, and I'll miss you forever. I can't wait until we get to laugh together again. And I'd like to close with these final thoughts. Let's really, really try to take care of each other moving forward. Let's call each other more, send more "I love you" texts. Dance together more. Surprise each other by showing up at the party for 20 minutes, even though no one thought you'd come. Let's watch more movies that are really, really bad just because it's fun. And let's check in on Mary, make sure she feels loved and supported. Let's a little bit more like Roger would and grieve together. We are the love we create. And eventually we are only the love we have, we are the love we create, and eventually we are only the love we leave behind. As long as we love and remember Roger, he will always be. Thank you very much. Brock McKenzie.
It's crazy to me you guys all own printers. Hi, everybody. My name is Brock. This is an impossible task. Oh, okay. Roger was, I think his love language was gift giving, and he gave a lot of gifts. Not necessarily any gifts I wanted or needed. Like this size medium woman shirt that I'm wearing. He gave this to me, it's stained. Last time I saw him, he gave this to me and I said, "Thank you, Roger. I think this is a stained size medium woman shirt. Maybe I'll give it to my girlfriend." And he said, "No. This was meant for you." When I first met Roger at the County Sports Theater in 2008, I was immediately starstruck. Not that I recognized him from anything, but he was just so funny, confident, and charismatic that I couldn't help but look up to him. I gravitated towards him whenever I could, trying hard to be his friend. And I remember one night, and he told me, "Brock, I think you're pretty," and my heart sank. And I thought, oh man, pressure's on. Now I need to be really weird around him. And somehow that worked. And through continuing to perform and hang out with him, he became one of my closest friends. Like Tyler mentioned, a brother, and we traveled together, we did a lot of stupid things together, and best of all, we got to grow together. Gripping on for fucking life. Okay. I was lucky enough to witness and grow with Roger. I saw him become totally unafraid of being his true self. He became even more funny, confident, and charismatic, which only added to that feeling of being starstruck by him. I feel so privileged to have Roger in my life for the past 16 years. And I desperately wish that I had so much more time with him. I love him so much, and I am going to miss him forever.
Hello, I am Kirsty. Roger and I met when I was 16. He was 18 at Comedy Sports Camp. Oh, Roger. How can I find the words to adequately paint a picture of my friend and do him justice? It's an insurmountable feat, but I'll try. Roger was a ball of fire with a magnetic intensity that pulled me in instantly. We were trauma bonded from pretty early on. He loved to be the center of attention. Speaking of the past tense, we'll never be. Roger was mischievous, he was curious, creative, so quick-witted, and one of the most hilarious friends I've had the honor of being close to. He always looked good, and he was gonna make you look good too. He was a beloved friend, brother, son, a star performer, a Maximista, and he contained multitudes. Roger, I miss you like hell. Thank you for all the late night bedtime giggles. Thank you for always being ready to boogie, to belt rent with me in your car. Thank you for sending random audio recordings and videos of yourself recently like you knew I would need them someday. I hope that wherever you are, you're dancing the night away in the most fabulous gown, dripping with glitter and feeling like the belle of the ball because that's what you are. In Roger's memory, I encourage you all to hold hands with and kiss your friends more, to tell each other your deepest, darkest secrets, to twirl in a flowy dress and send those voice memos and unsolicited selfies to friends with reckless abandon because they might need them one day. I love you so much, Roger. It was a privilege to know you, to love you, and to watch you bloom into the freest version of yourself. I'll miss you forever. I'll miss your infectious, wheezing ass laughter the most. Thank you for choosing me as a friend and a confidant in this lifetime. I love you.
And now we're going to invite some of Roger's family up to speak. Lauren.
Hi, I'm Roger's older sister, Jen. I just want to say thank you for being here today. I want to just reach out to my mom. Truly means so much. And she's really gone through this time. So thankful for that boy. I think all of what you guys have done and reaching out and staying in contact with my mom really has meant so much. And Juanita and Justin, thank you so much. And all of your friends, thank you. So I need to do this. I'm not a crier, so just bear with me, please. When I was trying to prepare my speech, I was really so much to say. All these memories of growing up starting to pop into my head. Things I haven't thought about in years. Telling stories and memories of our loved ones who have passed is how we keep them alive in our spirits and our hearts. Today I would like to share with you all stories I have of growing up with Roger. My brother was born January 11th, 1989. So my mother married my father, Roger. My beautiful baby girl, Charlotte. And she is Roger's friend. So if you look at the baby pictures of her, identical little curl on the side. So like a little piece of a movie at all times. So I lost my place. Roger was born on January 11th, 1989 to my mother married Roger, my father, Roger. Roger and I were only 19 months apart. In one of our very first stories and interactions between us that I have been told was by my mom. We were at my grandparents' house. Roger began to cry. And I see my mom knows I'm dragging Roger to her by his foot and saying, "Mom, the baby wants you." From that point on, this is exactly how our relationship went. Me being the bigger sister to my little brother. There was a lot of love there too. The both of us fighting, telling one another to stop crying, brides on to tell on each other. It's pretty much how it went. I was always locking Roger's room by jamming my bobby pins in the door lock so he couldn't get out. Pouring Kool-Aid in his food because he was always really heavy. So he couldn't keep his mouth closed. So the breathing was super irritating. And then we used to poke holes in each other's beanbags, the chairs, but he started it. Although I picked on him a lot, there was a lot. I was the only one who was able to do that. I didn't want anything bad to happen to him with the evil that's happened to us. Roger and I spent our summers swimming at my grandparents' house, waking up, watching The Price is Right, soaking in the pool. Cannonballs off the diving board, playing Marco Polo, like on the grill, my grandma making this Mickey and Minnie Mouse pancakes for breakfast. always said we were going to stay up all night and watch all the Batman movies, but we could never get through the first one. We would be so excited when my cousins Anthony and Brittany were able to come over and join us for swimming. We would wait until they arrived, and we would all jump in the pool. My cousin Anthony and I would always team up and make sure Roger was tagged in all of our games. Of course, Roger would begin to cry, run and tell on us. My Aunt Marie would then scold us. But that is how Roger got the name Cheon, Crybaby. He's always crying. As we all in our grandparents' house, my dad would pull up beside my Uncle James and Aunt Marie's car, roll down the window, and Roger would say, "Excuse me, my good man, do you have any Grey Poupon?" And we would drive away, leaving them all laughing. There's Grey Poupon here today for your sandwiches. It was always Roger and I against the world, until one Christmas, Roger asked Santa for a baby sister. Santa pulled my mom aside and said, "Your son just asked for a baby sister for Christmas." 1 year later, more arrived. And then it was us, three against the world. They will both tell you that I was a horrible babysitter because I made them eat vegetables and I would beat them up, which probably didn't happen often, but there was a lot of love there too. All of us sitting on my mom while she was lying on the couch watching movies was some of our favorite times together. This is a good story, guys. Okay. So my mom loves, obviously, getting hugs from her kids. Well, on this one particular Walmart trip, Roger and I were taking the little sticky barcodes off hair dye boxes. So back then they weren't on the boxes, they actually were stickers. Yeah, I know. And we ran up and gave her a hug and started putting them all over her back. She probably had about 10 on her back. So we check out, she pays, walk out, beep, 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 oh my God. So they got like, check you out. We round the bags, oh, we tried to beep, beep, beep. Hold on a second. So when we start going through the bags, we're laughing. So, okay, nothing's in here. So again, beep, beep, beep. We're laughing right now. We need to search for her. So then we're like, oh my gosh, what happened? So then we have to tell her what happened, and we start peeling them all off of her. She was still waiting with all the sticky barcodes that we had put all over her. So we just see that. Now we're at Kmart. We're walking through the store. My mom's like, "Where's your brother?" I don't know. "Where's your brother, Jennifer?" "Where's your brother?" I don't know. "Where's your brother, Jennifer?" I don't know. "Jennifer, where's your brother?" I don't know. So then she grabs me by my arm, drags me to the front of the store. She's yelling, "Roger, Roger!" So walking to the front of the store, she goes to the lady at the price checking and says, "I need you to pay for my son." She says, "Hold on, I need you to do a price check on the gift card." So my mom says, "I'll do it myself." She's yelling at the top of her lungs in front of the Kmart. Roger is out in the Pokemon card. "Look, Mom." My dad would never get mad at Roger, or Roger would never get in trouble. If I told on Roger and I expected to get in trouble, he wouldn't. Instead, my dad would say, "Right on, that's my baby." Anytime I would have to clean, I would complain. Roger wasn't helping. My dad's response, "This is my baby." I'm not one who likes to be touched, and Roger and my dad always would use their index finger and point at me and say over and over again, "I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you." Go insane. So when Roger would do that on his own without my dad, "I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you," he did this up until adulthood, I would still tell on him, nothing would happen because that was his name. Although we had the normal sibling fights, most of which always ended in Roger yelling, "Mom, she's trying to kill me," Roger turned to me. There was a lot of love. All three of us would do anything for one another. Roger, I told him I wasn't going to be able to go to school that semester because I didn't have enough money to pay for my classes. The next morning I woke up, he gave me a check, told me to go to school. He always wanted everyone to know that Roger appreciated, and Roger himself just wanted to be loved and accepted as well. Although Roger and I fought like cats and dogs, we always ended everything in saying, I love you. He would make me hug him. Again, I'm not a hugger. I don't like to be touched, but he would make sure we always hugged goodbye. He would make sure we always hugged goodbye. I will take it one more time. I will forever miss my baby brother. This is his friend, and it brings me comfort knowing I have a piece with me every day. Things happen in life you will never understand. But I know my brothers, my grandma, and my uncle Daniel, they're all watching over us. This is not goodbye, this is to see you later. I love you, Roger.
And now Roger's sister Lauren will say a few words.
This is all saying thank you for coming today. It means a lot to my family. It's okay though, I got him back when I spotted his first tattoo. He came to turn as he begged me not to tell him about it. I was a big moment. But aside from his typical big brother duties of making a little sister, I looked up to him. He was my best friend. And he was someone I always felt like I could talk to about anything. I called him everywhere, he houses every move. I'd always say growing up, the big brother was one of the best things I could ever ask for. I love and miss him so much already. Now that he's gone, it'll play with me.
7 for 7, really good. Up next, we've got Mary.
Wow. I didn't realize how full we were. Roger was the person who you loved to be in. You loved to be liked by you. It was fun. It was truly for his heart. Roger just didn't believe it. And he really should have been in debate in high school. Okay. Yes. Yeah, he really did find his voice, which he was so proud of. You see your child, you see this is growing, you know, this realize that you know, different. You know, just deserve love back. And always rather to feel loved. I really would probably be the most people to feel fully loved. Did he really know how much people loved him and accepted him for him? Because you couldn't leave the room without laughing. You know, and so, I mean, it was bad about laughing. He always made me feel special. With Roger before, we're going to go through all the years, okay? So, he had to be pretty, here's what he's talking about. He's having some trouble breathing. So maybe they'll bring their meeting in, you know. It was a Dexter moment because I'm serious. All I heard was the flapping and seeing the thick plastic that you see when you, yeah, from anyways. I think about it now. But even with the others, you know, that's pretty cool that when I think of it, he was strong. He really started out really quick. He didn't run real fast. But he always caught up. And he always he always wanted other people smile, he loves you. You feel special. And I'm very proud of that. Because that's kindness from the heart. It's not just somebody that thinks it's kind of politically correct. It's not, or, even as an adult, he could be out on the phone and just talking to me, and I just hear somebody make a snowy. It doesn't fall but he knows, like, Mom, I got this. And, that's hard. It's really see people accept the love that it is in the world to us. It's really good. It's so unexpected. And I really want to tell people all your lucky. I don't care if you're not people happy, it doesn't matter. Call them. Hear their voice. Because when you hear people, it's a thing that you just feel about. I'm going to tell you. I need the baby. Yeah, okay, I'm going to do it. Oh gosh, okay. Roger was about 4. He's about 4, he's 3 or 4. He loved Ace with her. Oh my goodness, he would be dancing and all of a sudden he would turn the whole the ballet scene where and he bangs into the wall, his back, he shakes it up, walking her, yes. But it was like bam, you just watch it go, they got back up and doing it again. But when you guys remember when Target first put their monitors up? Yeah, they put them up a while ago. You'd walk in and you'd see yourself and the first kids all excited. Look, Mom, look. Well, I get in the car and I just went, Mom, Mom. And I'm like, come on, let's go. He's like, Mom, look. And I'm like, Roger, let's go. And I turned around. And remember the cameras are there. And this time there's quite a few people around and I didn't know why. I'm going to do it. I think Roger has a personality, sorry. But it's but he and I was proud of that. But he's yes. And I know the spirit was on so grateful for that and considering doing this during this time as well. I so appreciate this. And he does a lot in this room. And it's grateful. He really is. Another little tip. Roger took notes when he met people. Random in his notebooks. And he would have like just a little bit of conversation there, like, where they talked about, and there's a lot of notebooks. And for him to, it shows the goodness in his heart also, because he took the time for this many little quick meet at some, at a ball station. And, and he'd have like a little bit of a conversation. He found enough of people to do that. And I always thought, honey, I hope you're singing in return. And I see it with this person. And you did. And I'm so grateful for that as well. Yeah. So, growing up in elementary school, there was a group of parents always got together, and the boss always had the best New Year's party. Dancing on the front lawn, parents are having a great time, you know what I mean? So, everything's done and done. Before midnight hits, we gotta go. Mom doesn't want us to out late, right? Well, I had just got my permit. Mom's like, you're driving home. I'm driving home. Roger's in the back. Mom's in the front. We drive home. Mom threw up on the way home. Out of the car. Next morning, Mom's like, Roger, go clean that up. And he's like, why do I go clean that up? And Roger's out there just scrubbing down that car.
Thank you, Jennifer. Actually, that is a great segue. Fucking nailed it. We all love Roger, and we all have Roger stories, and we've gotten to share a few of ours. This is a handheld mic, so we actually like to hear if anyone here has words that they would like to say. I will come to you with the microphone, and you can say a few words about Roger. Mary thought it was really important that we all say something, so if there's anyone, you can just raise your hand. If not, I will bore you with all my Roger stories. I'll come to you. Just as a reminder, it is a very hot mic. You don't have to hold it very loud.
Roger had an amazing ability to see you. I think that's why his roast hurt so bad. But it's also why his love felt so good. And he was never shy with it. And I just wanted to echo the words of other loved ones in this room on how important it was to have Roger as a part of your life, from what he taught you. I think he taught me how to love before I could understand the lesson. And I'm going to spend the rest of my life so grateful and continuing to.
All right. I met Roger when I was 18. I grew up in Chino with Kurt, so during those like early college student 12 years, we were hanging out a lot. And like the first year I auditioned, I didn't make it, and I thought a lot of shit about myself and everything. Like I would hang out with you guys, like, but I still hang out with Kurt because he's my high school friend, and because we lived so close, like they would hang out, and I felt like nervous because I felt like a little bit of an outsider. Roger was just like made me feel so like welcome. I was on frazzle back then. And yeah, and like we would hang out with, so many stupid stories. Like we would just hang out in the parking lot and 3 for 5 for those who know what that is. Yeah, he had an uncanny ability to just like make you feel seen. Like everyone keeps saying that, but he really did. Like he just
he knew when he would do it like in a truly like maniacal way. Like he would the story that stands out the most, it was one night we're all out, going out, we're leaving Tiger Heat. And I think Roger and I shared some of my food with him earlier that night. I remembered it. And we got in some kind of argument or something where we were just like we were at odds for like, for the moment, and he got a street dog and went up to offer to everyone a bite but me. And I like was obviously so mad in the moment, just all drunk. But afterward, obviously, you get some distance from it. It's so freaking funny for him to like get you and snipe you just like exactly where it hurts you the most in that given moment. And he got me good. Like he thoroughly like you and Rocky, you guys like raised me in those years. Like I wish, I don't know how much he knew that I looked up to him that way, and that like I feel like he really helped to shape the person I become, just being so himself all the time. And yeah, it's like we over the last few years, we didn't hang out as much, didn't speak as often, but like he always showed up, and like I always knew that he like loved me, and like I would always tell him whenever there was a hang or a birthday going out, and I always knew he was going to show up because he didn't reply. And that's how I knew he was going to show up, because he loved being the center of attention. He loved making an entrance. And when he did that, I was always so excited to see him. And I don't know what else, but he's never been truly the funniest person I've ever known, and there'll never be anyone else like him. I'll love him forever.
Hi, my name is Nika. I met Roger right out of high school, and I think I'm sorry to every man I've ever dated in my life, but nobody ever loved me the way that Roger did. He just, as everyone knows and has heard, he just saw you for who you were, and he loved you for who you were. There were so many times I felt Roger crying where I felt like I was wrong, and he was like, bitch, come on. Like, you're right. And I hate to admit this now, but Roger was both prettier and funnier than me. I should have told him that to his face. I remember in my early 20s, Roger was like a staple at my mom's house. He would always just show up, and my mom loved him, so Roger was always there. And I remember one year on my birthday, I told my mom, I'm not going out, I don't want to go. Roger texted me going out. I was like, we're not going out. I put my phone away. 30 minutes later, Roger was at my house. My mom let him in because it's Roger. He sat on my bed for about 45 minutes to an hour telling me, we're going out. And we went out that night. And I can't tell you if the club was busy or not, because we took the entire dance floor dancing. If anyone else was there, I blacked them out entirely. And I think if Roger hadn't been such a big part of my life, I wouldn't have the confidence, the charisma, and like the love that I do now. And I think so much of that comes from just who he was and how confident and sure of himself he was. And I think, as everybody said, I think it's important to remember like who your friends are and to reach out to them and remind them that you love them, even if you haven't seen them in a long time. They're still important, and they're still a major part of your life, and always will be.
We have time for a couple more. I want to make sure that I'm in a couple of minutes, not because I want to say.
Hi, my name is Joanne, and I've known Roger since about 4 or 5. Kids were also the same age. I had 2 daughters that were 5 and 8. Jennifer was about 6 or 7 at the time. Roger was 5. My niece Brandy was also 8. Roger was only the only boy, and they played with him. I was babysitting them one day. Mary was at work. They were outside playing, and they kept telling Roger all day long, "You do what you want to do, just do this a little bit longer. They finally made him be a table and they had a tea party up. They had little plastic barrettes in his hair and he finally couldn't take it no more. A little 5-year-old Roger stood up with his fist clenched and he looked at all of them and he said, "Fuck you!" And the girls all were tripping over themselves to try and get in the house to tell me. And I witnessed the whole thing. And they came in, so I told the girls to go outside and play and I would take care of it. Roger was starting to cry. "Are you going to call my mom?" And I said, "Do you want me to call your mom?" He goes, "Wait, what?" And I said, I go, "Do you want me to call your mom?" He said, "No." I said, "Roger," I said, "what's going to happen now?" I said, we're going to go into your room and I'm going to pretend to yell at you. And I won't let the girls come in here and bother you. You can do whatever you want and they will leave you alone. He's like, "Okay." So I'm saying, "Roger Garcia, you were in so much trouble," and he has both of his hands over his mouth and he's laughing. And so, I don't know how he put up with it for as long as he did, but I'm convinced that they are what made him king. Those girls were terrible. He hung out longer than I thought he would. But that's my Roger story.
Thank you. We have time for a few more if anyone's taking a search on it. Great. Thanks, buddy. Hi, everybody. My name is Michael Santel. I have one Roger story, but it's not my story. It's a secondhand story. It's a story that I don't actually know what's true and what's not true. It was told to me by my mother-in-law when Roger became myth within my family. I got married on a boat. We made sure that all of our degenerate friends couldn't just wander off during the wedding. So everyone was centralized to one location. They couldn't leave at any time. And in doing so, they were able to enjoy all the merriment, and after the boat docked, everyone went on their way. The next morning, we showed up to the hotel that my mother-in-law and father-in-law were staying at. We came in, she looked tired and glassy-eyed like she'd been up all night. And I said, "What happened?" This 70-year-old woman had an adventure with the Bath Boys. The Bath Boys did a Jerry Lewis bellboy routine from 10 o'clock at night till 8:30 in the morning when I showed up. Now, I don't know what else happened. Here's the timeline events that I do know. They got home from the bar, we went to a bar, and then we went from the bar back to the motel. From there, I'm out of the story. At the motel, one of the individuals was locked out of their bedroom. They couldn't get in. The super of the hotel goes home about 5 o'clock because it was a pretty ghetto motel. They spent part of the evening jerry-rigging this window open. They spent part of the evening have celebratory time around the swimming pool. I don't know what bits happened at the swimming pool, but I know that somebody was baptized. She could not convey who was baptized or why they were baptized, but I was conveyed that information. I was conveyed that tacos were ate at some point in the day when we had come back in the morning. Everyone was sleeping. You were not sleeping. You were awake on a bed. Jacob was awake on the bed. Roger was sleeping over here. There were several boys in like a little pile with towels over them. Not towels like wet towels, but like sleeping towels. When you're young, you don't know you should bring things to sleep with. And we saw the little pile of them. And as she recanted this story to me, while I didn't know what transpired, I was so jealous that she got to have it. It was her experience. She got to do it. She talks a lot about that night. So Roger, I love you, buddy.
As an official spokesperson for that board, we can either confirm or deny those remarks. We will say your mother-in-law is fucking rad. We have one more friend who could be with us today, but he's sent some words. His name is Carlo. He's watching on the live stream. Carlo is a very dear friend of Roger's, and Jake's going to read some words from Carlo. And then we'll have a final prayer, and then we will have food. And I will encourage you all, as you look around, how many hands kept shooting up. If you can't hear your story on the microphone, please tell the story of Roger. They say you live 2 lives. The first one ends when you pass away, and the second one ends the last time you remembered. So it's up to us to carry on the second life. Tell me the stories of Roger. Call Mary this year, this decade, and tell her all these stories about how it was really and wonderful. This is for Carlo.
Thank you so much. Before I read this, I just wanted to say thank you so much to Kurt and Kirsty. You guys did a lot of work to make this happen. And I'd be remiss if you guys didn't get your little moment. So thank you guys. You made this a lot easier. Thank you. And, I will repeat the sentiment. Let's check in on Mary. You know what I mean? Not today, not next week. Way down the line. That's your job. All right, this is Carlo. Him and I are very different. Hello. So far the same. Hello, family and friends of my dear friend Roger, aka Generic, spelled Jen-ERIC, aka Generic. My name is Carlo Habash, aka Yoko No. Generic and Yoko No were a dynamic duo in the drag scene of LA. Throughout our comedy and fashion, we took over the nightlife of West Hollywood. The lead up to going out was always the best part with Roger. In those moments, we put music on, made a cocktail, created some iconic fashion looks. The moment with Roger was a comedic pun. We never stopped laughing. Roger was the funniest person I know, besides myself, of course. I will never forget hosting Vegas Pride with Roger. I'm so lucky to have shared such an iconic time with him. I will always hold these moments close to my heart. Then, there are many times at a club called Rhonda. What great memories. Logan, Nika, Kirsty, Sean, Roger, Becca, and I were known as the House of Hyra. Because of our looks and works recreated, we were always chosen first to enter the club. Those were some of the best times of my life. Roger, the day my family told me of your passing was the hardest day of my life. I struggled to understand why. As a family, a blue feather fell from the sky and landed on the table we were sitting at. I believe you saw my sorrow and said, "Don't cry." I carry that feather in my Bible as a daily reminder that you were with me. Not being able to mourn you with our friends today is so difficult, but I know how much you would want me to continue my journey of recovery. Roger, you brought me laughter and love. Dancing with you on the dance floor, dressed in our creations, gave me wild joy. These are memories I will always cherish. Ours was a friendship like no other. One of our best looks was bride and groom. You will always be my bride and I your groom. Roger, you were one of a kind, and we were all better people because we had the joy of being your friend. I love you, Roger. This is not goodbye. I will see you someday again on the dance floor. Psalm 30:11. You have turned my mourning into dancing. You have taken off my sackcloth and clothed me with joy. Ecclesiastes 3:4. A time to weep, a time to laugh, a time to mourn, a time to dance. Thank you.
Thank you, Carlo. We are now going to hear a final prayer from family friend Kelly, who would like to come up wherever you.
I'm gonna combo this a little bit. So first off, amazing. You guys were unbelievable, and I'm so delighted that you were here to express all this joy and really set the tone for how beautiful Roger was. He touched us all in so many different ways, made us laugh. I just love that kid. I just love him. I have a little story too, and I think some of you will relate. But when I first met Roger, it was when my beloved Mary brought him. He was just so cute and delightful. He was lit up. Oh, he just loved our ceremony and everything. My best friend from junior high calls me later on. He lives up in North. You know, we asked this kid to take our picture. When she opened up the pictures, there's all these pictures of that kid. Rob had his little signature, didn't he? He just kind of put it everywhere. So he definitely left his mark. And I just thought, that was pretty brilliant, right? It's too funny. So much love in that kid, I tell you. I also want to say, Jennifer and Lauren, I love you very, very much. I can't look at you right now. But you know, you're in my heart. You're in city night. And we're there for you always. Great. Mary, you are amazing. Let me tell you guys something. It was very important for Mary to have her vision for this day, the celebration of her beloved son. Essence on every level. And with stories that we've heard, it really just, but as you look around, know, Mary has spent hours, days, weeks, putting this together. I love it that you emphasize about just keep checking in on her. Because we do love you, and we're here for you, all of us in this room. And as we said, love will get us through this. It's beautiful what you did. And everyone here that came and just the point and click, Mary, what do you want? Let's bring it all to life. And she knew what she wanted, and it came out fabulous. I'm sure Roger would be very impressed. No, I know he's impressed, okay? He's here. He is here. I believe that with all my heart. So let's go ahead and just feel that love that's permeating through this room. Dare I say joy of that love, joy of knowing this special person, joy right here, right now, that uplifts us. That love, for that love is the gateway for all things. We step through it, we feel it, and we are thankful. The word of the day, so glad, so thankful I met this young man. The things that he did so powerfully affecting so many of us, and each having our own individual experiences with him. I send a blessing forth knowing that God is here. God is here, blessing each one of you right here, right now. Blessing Mary, blessing his father, his family, his sisters, their loved ones. Everyone in this room is feeling that love. Let's just take that love out into the world. And when you think about Roger, think about these amazing stories and breathe in that goodness and just let the rest go. That sustains us through these hard times. We call upon that grace every moment of the day. I also speak a word of blessing over the food today, that it nourishes us and sustains us moving through. Take care of yourselves and each other And I pray this humbly. In Jesus' name we pray. And Mother, Father, God, it's all good. So let's just affirm that now and say, Amen. Amen.
We've made it to the end of the ceremony. Kirsi made a slideshow that will be playing now. It'll be playing on a loop for the rest of the ceremony. Please feel free to get up, grab some food. You can sit back down and watch the slideshow. It is 30 minutes. You don't have to sit in your chairs now. But thank you so much for coming out. Love you all, and let's see.
Oh, yeah. My old friend.
I know, I like I feel so not fun with that I'm not.
Thank you all so much for watching.